Hey guys, welcome back to Board Watch. I'm Brian.
I'm Joey.
And we are getting into Season 5, Episode 2.
Episode 2.
So,
moving all through.
Any storylines that we didn't see in the previous episode? We didn't see Arya, actually.
We didn't see Arya, right? Actually, I think that's the
we
only one
didn't see Bran.
Oh, yeah. Duh. We didn't see Bran.
Didn't see... I think it was mostly it.
Because a lot of storylines have been... Oh, we didn't see the Greyjoys storyline. So
correct.
Beyond,
we haven't seen the Greyjoys. Oh, and we didn't see the Boltons.
Yeah, we didn't see the Boltons.
Yeah, Greyjoys, Boltons, Arya. Yeah, so any of those that you'd particularly want to see?
The Boltons. I want to see Ramsay.
More Ramsay?
I like Ramsay to watch. I want to see more of Lady Olenna and Highgarden to kind of see what she's been up to since she went back. And
yeah, she was in your top 3. It's just then, like, she hasn't really been around all that much.
So she's dropped down. But I feel like the more they have... And then she was just kind of a supporting character a lot. It wasn't really, like, giving her what I feel like she actually is. Okay. I mean, so I feel like she'll be present more this season probably because of the fact that, like, now that Tywin's dead, like, that was her main adversary, really. Okay. So... I'm curious to see, though, with Tywin dead, I just thought about this, how Bravos, the bank, well, I mean, obviously they're already funding his competitor, which is what they do usually, but, like, they weren't really happy about doing it. So I'm wondering what they're going to do about the fact that Tywin's dead. He owed so much money, and they still owe so much money, you know, so yeah. I'm curious to see about that.
Okay, cool. So let's get into episode 2.
Fala Mogulis.
Fala Taharis.
Fala Taharis, she knows how to respond to her.
Jack and Hagar gave me this.
No one here by that name.
Please. I crossed the narrow sea. I have nowhere else to go.
You have everywhere else to go.
But wait!
Shouldn't have thrown that. Oh shit! That means Sansa's
Before we
there.
left, a maester gave you a raven scroll.
What is it?
Sansa Stark. Don't look.
You sure?
Oh,
She's dyed her hair, but it's her. She's sitting with Peter Baelish.
Littlefinger.
A bunch of knights with him.
Ready the horses.
We only have one horse.
Find more.
She's about to take on 10 dudes.
Do you like the taste?
Oh, they dyed her
Don't see
hair.
what all the fuss is about.
This woman swore to protect Renly. She failed. She swore to protect your mother. She failed. Why would I want somebody with your history of failure guarding Lady Sansa?
Why should you have any say in her affairs?
Because I am her uncle.
Please, my lady, if I could explain.
I saw you at Joffrey's wedding, bowing to the king.
Neither of us wanted to be there. Sometimes we don't have a choice.
And sometimes we do. You should leave.
Can't ask you to say Stop! Guess that means you're unarmed.
Down, fucker, down!
Damn. Oh, shit.
Steel, man.
Damn.
I'm going to Dawn. And I'm bringing our daughter home.
You can't just ask Prince Doran to give her back. She's promised to his son.
I'm not going to ask him anything.
You go down there with an army, it's an act of war.
No army. Do you know where they're keeping her?
You're going to Dawn. A one-handed man. Alone.
Never said I was going alone.
Oh, he's going with Braun? Nice.
We made a deal, your sister and I.
I would have advised against that.
How is this good for me?
Because you're going to come with me and help me with something important. And when we return, I'm going to give you a much better girl and a much better castle.
What will you do about his death?
I will bury him. I will mourn for him.
And then?
You will have me go to war.
The whole country would have you go to war.
Then we are lucky the whole country does not decide.
The sand snakes are with me. They have the love of their people. They will avenge their father while you sit here in your chair doing nothing. Let me send her to Cersei. One finger at a time.
We do not mutilate little girls for vengeance. Not here. Not while I rule.
And how long would that be?
If I was him, I'd have her killed.
You understood fear once, long ago, but you've forgotten what it means. Someone who has forgotten fear has forgotten how to hide. Fear is useful that way.
Here's useful.
We do not know what this man did or didn't do. Give him a trial at least. A fair trial. Show all the citizens of Marine that you are better than those who would depose you. Teach them a better way.
I do not know the place from where old Sir comes. Things maybe are different there, I hope. But here, in Marine, before Daenerys Storm, when they own us, so we learn much about them, but we do not live long. They teach me what they are. Mercy, fair trial. These mean nothing to them. All they understand is blood.
But the Mad King gave his enemies the justice he thought they deserved. And each time it made him feel powerful and right. Until the very end.
I will not have the son of the Harpy executed without a fair trial.
I want to take a walk.
You can't. Cersei has offered a lordship to the man who brings her your head.
She ought to offer her count. Best part of her for the best part of me.
Well, I suppose a box is as good a place for me as anywhere.
How many dwarves are there in the world?
Is Cersei going to kill them all?
Not him.
Are you trying to deceive your queen? Shall I throw him in a cell, Your Grace?
It won't be necessary, Simone. I don't want to dissuade the other hunters. Mistakes will be made.
Thank you, Your Grace.
Thank you, Your Grace.
Take the head.
Pardon me, Your Grace. I would take it, if you don't mind. It could prove useful for my work.
Very good.
God.
In light of your position as commander of the Lannister armies, it would please the king if you would serve as his master of war. No man living better deserves the title.
That is kind of you to say. I would like to hear it from the king himself.
The king is very busy at this moment.
He should be here, learning what it means to rule.
He is learning. On this occasion, in his capacity as ruler, he's asked me to speak on his behalf.
I returned to the capital to pay my respects to my brother, and to you, and to serve the king. I did not return to the capital to serve as your puppet, to watch you stack the small council with sycophants. You are the Queen Mother. Nothing more.
Good job. Thank you, someone.
You would abandon your king in his time of need.
If he wants to send for me, I will be waiting for him. At Casterly Rock.
Grayscale. What do you call it north of the wall? I don't know. But two of my sisters had it. They both died. How did they kill you? I don't remember. I was a baby. A lot of people came and tried, I think. Whatever they did, it went away.
Show too much kindness, people won't fear you. If they don't fear you, they don't follow you.
With respect, Your Grace, the free folk will never follow you, no matter what you do. You're the man who burned their king alive. Who then? You?
No. Only one of their own. Do you know this wretched girl? Lyanna Mormont.
The Lord Commander's niece.
Lady of Bear Island. And a child of 10. Asked her to commit her house to my cause, that's her response.
Bear Island knows no king but the king in the north. whose name is Stark.
What's your life going to be like here at the wall with Thorn in command?
Unpleasant, I expect. Your bravery made him look weak. He'll punish you for it. I don't punish men for bravery. I reward them. I don't doubt it, Your Grace. But I'm a brother of the Night's Watch. I pledged them my life, my honor, my sword. I don't know what I have left to give you. You can give me the North. I can't. Even if I wanted to, I'm a bastard. The snow. Kneel before me. Lay your sword at my feet. Pledge me your service and you'll rise again as Jon Stark, Lord of Winterfell.
Go on.
Sam the Slayer. Another wildling lover, just like his friend Jon Snow. How's your lady love, Slayer?
Her name is Gilly. Brother Flint knows her quite well. They cowered together in the larder during the battle for the wall.
Lies!
A wildling girl, a baby, and Lord Janus. I found him there after the battle was over, in a puddle of his own making. Whilst Lord Janus was hiding with the women and children, Jon Snow was leading. Sir Alistair fought bravely, it is true. And when he was wounded, it was Jon who saved us. He took charge of the wall's defence. Mormont himself chose Jon to be his steward. He saw something in Jon, and now we've all seen it too. He may be young, but he's the commander we turned to when the night was darkest.
Good job, Sam. Good job, Sam. Jon! Yeah! Yeah! Jon. Yeah. Oh, there's like snow? Oh, that was close. I don't know what he's doing here.
You lost this.
Oh, check-in.
You said there was no Jack and Hagar here.
There isn't. A man is not Jack and Hagar.
A man is not Jack and Hagar.
Well, who are you then?
No one. And that is who Hagar must become.
Near Kiv Mulilash. Eshka's Willy Willosh. Ro Rushish Patresh Espa Yazdang Yautu Jeva Wapa Filma. Kiotastol.
Gurgon Jastano. Glyson Elchani Sostaur. Iziri Aixia. Vitriris.
Shishilolska ya vitril.
Vitris.
Merino pastie de rene jumbiles. Sebisa vala zirio sentas. Kilonarion morchon issa.
Whew. Drogon is huge.
Yeah.
Full size.
Bigger and bigger. Well, bigger and bigger every season.
Yeah. Like what you think of what a dragon would be. Oh man.
So, let's just stick with Dany. So what would you have done in her situation?
I wouldn't have killed the kid. I'd have put him in jail maybe, but I wouldn't have killed him. An eye for an eye won't change anything.
Okay.
Death for death is not going to change anything. That's why it shouldn't be it. Anyways, but
the
yeah.
Masters would have been angry probably that, it wasn't severe enough punishment.
Let the Masters be mad. They're not the ones who are going to revolt. In my mind, I keep the slaves happy. Not even... And again, former slaves, but I'm saying that party. And she's not even thinking in her best interest. If her best interest is to make sure everything is calm there, then she should have let them have the fighting. She should have let them, not let them, but she should let him live. And then she should be ruling better. She's not ruling. And if she doesn't care about their city, she doesn't care about changing anything, she's just trying to, gather herself to go across to Westeros and do that. But either way, she's again playing this middle game where she's trying to do both, and it's just you can't do both.
You can't make everybody happy.
Yeah.
So Montana Donaldson wants to know how both sides will react. The Masters, how the Masters react, how the slaves react. What did that?
The Masters are still mad, and now the slaves are now the free slaves are mad. So now she has both sides mad. The Masters aren't going to be less mad because someone got killed from their people. And then they're not going to be more mad now that he didn't get killed, or less mad because he didn't get killed. He got killed. But either way, she's going to have to try to start making people happy, or she's going to have to leave.
Okay.
Which part of me feels like she should leave anyways. Just get the chips and go. Get across now.
So Barristan kind of dropped some knowledge on Dany. When he was the Mad King. He's she was that's just stories that my enemies have told, and he's no, that really happens.
Yeah, that's really that's what he was doing, and she still did it with the kid right now. I don't know why Barristan didn't try to he should have had a trial too, and he should have been had a different.
He admitted to the crime though.
Yeah, that's
he
true.
Just flat out admitted.
Yeah, still though, death for death is not good. I don't know.
Okay.
It's not good and smart for her either. Barristan should have recommended against that too. I mean, he had to have known the free people are going to get frustrated.
Okay. Okay, so Sabi Nakvi, this is kind of similar, but you're saying that if you were in her situation, you would have just imprisoned the kid?
Yeah.
For how long?
Life.
Okay.
Or I don't know, until he that's regardless of the point. That then that can be.
Ruling is tough.
Ruling is tough.
Like you said, you can't please
ruling
everybody.
is tough, but death for death is definitely not the answer. What is that going to give? You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I guess if this even kind of harks to actual life, but if someone just gets their life taken just because they took a life, they can't give anything more at that point. All they gave was their life, and if anything, that's selfish of them to just be able to die. So I don't know if it's slavery then, and the people who commit those crimes should be pushed into slavery, or if they should be pushed into imprisonment. But either way, it shouldn't just be killed.
So was Daenerys on the right track by trying to give the master or the harpy
a fair trial?
Fair trial?
Yeah.
That was on the right track?
Yeah.
Because at that point she was listening to Barristan's advice.
No, she should have gave him a fair trial, and she should have had better guards, I guess, or I don't even know how that could have worked out better for her, but how she handled that situation after was definitely not the right way. And a public assassin, a public killing?
Yeah.
There's definitely not a need for that. It's one thing if you do a private killing after the trial, but
but this is one of her first big decrees. I mean, finding out people want to know how she's going to rule. What is her definition of justice? What's her definition of fair?
Yeah, that's true.
So
I don't know. Still, though, that's just she made a point. That was definitely. I don't know if it's well heard.
Okay.
Plus, she's
because Daria was saying that they should have just killed him in the pyramid. So.
Yeah, right then and there. Yeah, no, she should have killed him.
Okay. Oh yeah, Stark of Winterfell wants to know what's Drogon up to right now.
I don't know, just flying around, burning shit probably, getting bigger, eating. I don't know. I don't think he's doing anything too much, but.
Oh yeah, this is actually kind of interesting. Stark of Winterfell was pointing out that you were cheering. Well, not really cheering, but you were like good on you, Rob, when he killed Karstark in public. Because Karstark killed the kids in the dungeon, or the Lannister boys.
Yeah.
And Rob was just like, I sentenced you to death, and then you were like, oh yeah, bad. Like because Rob executed himself.
I like that it was himself, but I don't think executing was the right way for that.
Oh, okay.
Like I'm happy that, like, if I can recall at least, because also this is we're really defining two different things. At time of war, in the middle of having an army, killing is never morally correct. Let me just grant that. Separate from that, it was a bad decision for him to kill him, but he couldn't really hold him as a captor. Captor, and so that was a whole different situation. But I don't think killing him was the best. Obviously, was not the right idea for him. But not even on a moral level, but just on like for his own best interest. But I like that he did it himself. And yeah, Daenerys didn't do it herself. But even if she did do it herself, you have to look at the situation. And also, that guy murdered 2 kids, innocent kids, arguably.
But it murdered someone in prison.
Imprisoned. But also, I think the granted part is, like, there are kids imprisoned of war. Unimprisoned. Yeah, he did kill an imprisoned person, but imprisoned for murdering, and being a master. So I just think when you start to look, when anything that's just, like, black and white is dangerous. Like, black and white thing. But, like,
actually, the name of the episode was The House of Black and White.
Anything black and white is dangerous.
We'll get there.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's also dangerous where Arya is too, but anything that's just cut in stone, cut and dry, if anyone kills anyone in an imprisoned state, you must... That's when you start dealing with, like... But that's definitely... Like, because you could tell there was a difference between Karstark getting called for killing those boys who had nothing to do with the murder of, like, his own people or his son, and that guy for his father avenging. Like, even the show wanted you to pull on that and to understand that was wrong for her to kill. Like, I think... The way that they shot that was to kind of make you feel like Daenerys was making a bad decision in that situation.
Wouldn't that just make Karstark even more wrong? Okay, that's what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying. He was more wrong for murdering 2 innocent kids in prison. The prison part is the parameters, but I'm saying the actual crime itself, he murdered 2 innocent kids. This guy murdered. Okay. And he also did it gruesomely, and there's a whole bunch of stuff to take into consideration. My point is that as a rule, and also, Rob did that as a ruler in the middle of wartime, and it was one of his generals who betrayed him. This is a citizen of a place that she just you have to people can't just be cut and dry with this kind of stuff. She has to understand what's going on. She's going into a place. She can't just immediately have this rule. It's crazy. Like, her own moral compass is not for everyone's, like, whimsy of lives, and so just because right now she felt like that was it doesn't mean she's going to later. You have to analyze each situation thoroughly by counsel, weighing all the situation. There's no way
going from slaves to no slaves doesn't just change overnight.
Exactly. There's so many things to take into account for the reason why he shouldn't have been killed, and he shouldn't have been killed. And I feel like people should feel like I feel like they wanted you to feel, or George R. wanted you to feel that, and also the writers did. I don't think it was a moral decision for her, or B, even a smart decision for her to do. Plus, she's making it very dangerous for her to live in that city and making more turmoil. And she only, if anything, all that did was raise tensions higher, honestly. And then he raised tensions, so tensions are even higher than they were before for her. She needs to like switch it up and like do something different.
This is just a random thing. The dude 4576 is like, this isn't really a question, but I think it would be kind of cool if you showed Joey this comparison of a young Lady Olenna to present day Natalie Dormer.
Oh wow, actually. Is that Star Trek she was in?
No, I think she was a Bond girl.
That's sick though. They look a lot alike. That's weird. Wow, that was cool though.
Anyway, I'm gonna turn the screen back away from you. So yeah, we were just talking about.
I wonder if they did that. I wonder if they looked at if they had cast Olenna first and then it may have just happened that way. That's pretty close.
But Movie Lover Fan 18. Let's head over to the House of Black and White because we already kind of talked about it a little bit. Even if it was just kind of like everything should be in black and white. Yeah. So she's revised her death list, taking a couple of names off. The ones that are left: Cersei, Walder Frey, the Mountain, and Mira Trant. Who would you most want her to kill of those? I think Mira Trant was in your bottom 3, right?
Yeah, but probably Cersei.
Okay.
Because she has the most potential to do a bunch of bad shit. I just very, very much dislike Mira Trant. But honestly, for the grand scheme of the show and capability of doing things that I do not want to happen, definitely Cersei.
Okay. And she took a few names.
Actually, or Walter Frey. Either one I'm fine for, but I definitely would call for Cersei first.
She took some names off though. Do you know some of the people but
obviously Joffrey she took off.
Well, yeah, but like some people that are still living.
Oh no, I didn't notice.
Ilan Payne.
Oh, she took off the list. Ilan Payne, yeah.
Yeah, because she didn't say his name.
No.
The Red Woman.
Oh yeah, she had her name on there.
Yeah, in one of the episodes she said the Red Woman because after she
took
Gendry.
When she took Gendry, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
So, any thoughts to that?
I don't know why she's just switching up. She didn't even get into there yet. She hasn't even been in there yet, so I don't know why she would have changed her list. Maybe she just decided that they weren't of need to kill, like they weren't justly needed to kill.
Okay. Stark of Winterfell wants to know if Arya will be able to become no one.
Yeah. She'll be able to change faces.
And this is actually kind of an interesting question, because you really don't know that much, but Stark of Winterfell wants to ask, to the best of your ability, explain everything that you do know and suspect about the Faceless Men / the House of Black and White. Because they've just kind of giving you little snippets.
Yeah, honestly, barely anything.
So you don't really know anything, but predictions of what they're all about.
Order.
Okay.
Because Jaqen gave names for her because she saved his life.
She saved 3 lives, but the God of Death requires 3 lives still be taken. That's why she was given 3 lives. Because she saved Jaqen's life and the other 2 guys that were in the cage. So she saved 3 lives, but because of that, she has to take 3, or Jaqen had to take 3 lives that she named.
I see. So maybe it's that for every life there must be a death.
Okay.
And somewhere Almond must die. Yeah, and Almond must serve. I don't know if Almond must serve means must serve the Red or the Lord of Light though.
Is it the Lord of Light?
I don't know. That's my point. I don't know. To Thoros Amir or whatever his name is, it is the Lord of Light. But I don't know if it is. And to Melisandre, but I don't know if it is to anyone else.
Okay. And then also those people that were going to be attacking Arya saw what we now know as the Faceless Man.
Yeah.
And they're just like, nope!
Fuck that. Yeah, immediately and dipped around. Yeah, so they're definitely scared of those people. But I don't know what. And that guy said he would never. Any person from Bravos would. Maybe they protect the Bravos? I don't know.
Okay. So, Mad Musk 100 wants to know your thoughts on Arya's storyline, where it goes from here. I mean, obviously we've kind of alluded to it already, but how long does she stay there? Where does she go after?
She'll probably train and then go to start taking people's names off the list.
Okay.
And then whatever their call to duty is, I'm sure she'll take that up. Okay. Whatever they're supposed to be doing.
What kind of training do you think she would need to become no one?
I hope it's not kill your family. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's kill your family.
To truly become no one? You must have no ties to the world?
Yeah, you must have no ties to the world.
Okay.
So you must have no family. So you must kill your family. But I hope it's not that.
Would your opinion of Arya drop a little bit?
Yeah, if it's just
Just
go
a
kill
little
your
bit.
family just so you can be a killer. That's a little selfish, Arya.
Yeah. I think that covers just about everything on Arya. Let me just double check. Oh yeah, Liz wants to know, why is Arya doing this? Like, if she had the opportunity to go to the wall or something like that, like why?
Because this is what she's been about since Syrio trained her, and since she has learned to take power for herself. She has never had power, and this is a way for her to get power and continue to have power and protect herself. I don't think she wants to wait around for other people to protect her, and so this is a way for her to take that power.
Okay. Let's head over to Sansa. Simon Shaw wants to know, putting yourself in Sansa's shoes without knowing Brienne.
I would have done the same.
You would have done the same thing?
I would have done the same
because
thing.
Littlefinger played that situation really well.
He did,
It's like,
and also, you don't just, like... She couldn't have played it any other way. She's in front of Littlefinger.
Right.
So unless... she had to know that the girl was outnumbered. She doesn't even really know her. Except the fact that, like, she was
everyone that she swears to protect ends up dying.
That, and also... and she
It's
didn't
like, I swear to
deny it.
protect Renly. He died. I swear to protect Catelyn. She died.
Yeah, she's not really good at protecting people, and so... I don't know. I wouldn't have trusted her either.
Okay.
And it's not even that I wouldn't even trust her. I wouldn't have, but I also wouldn't have, like, shown that I didn't trust her. Or
Right,
trusted her,
in front of
Littlefinger, yeah. She
So-
has Littlefinger where she wants him right now, which is good, hopefully.
So you said last episode that Littlefinger was taking her to Bravos?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah. So Liz wants to also point out, as far as the Brienne situation is concerned, that even though she's unable to convince Sansa to come with her, she's still determined to help her. So how do you think she might go about doing that?
By freeing her from Littlefinger?
Oh, movie lover fan 18. Sansa is surprised when Littlefinger says that the message he received in the last episode was an acceptance of his marriage proposal, as she thought he was still mourning her Aunt Liza. Who is Littlefinger? So what is this marriage proposal?
Oh, I totally forgot about the marriage. I was talking during that, so I totally glossed over that part.
Yeah.
So it is a marriage proposal. He's not going to Bravos. He's going to marry one of the Freys' daughters, or I don't think a Martell.
Star of Winterfell just wants to point out a meme. Not a question, but a meme that's going around after this episode was basically Sansa asking why she had to dye her hair if she was still easily recognized, and Littlefinger responding that he likes brunettes.
I like brunettes.
I guess I'll find that meme. Alright, so yeah, sticking with Stark of Winterfell, let's head up north. Should Jon have accepted Stannis' offer to become Jon Stark?
Yes. No.
Because he did swear an oath, like, if he leaves, like, he's...
Yeah, I mean, what's the point at that point? But also...
How do you think Stannis will feel about Jon's decision?
Mad, but also he'll have a guy who's willing to let him rule at the wall.
Okay.
Which is important, because if Stannis is going to be king, he needs someone he can trust to hold the wall, and if he can trust Jon, and Jon can kind of rally the North, he can be warden from the wall.
Okay.
For the most part, I mean, kind of, not really warden, but...
So, did the Night's Watcher elect the correct person?
Oh, yeah. Oh my god, over Alistair Thorne or that whatever other guy?
Random dude 3.
Yeah, from whatever castle no one even talked about ever. Castle Shadow.
He turned down the title of being Lord of Winterfell, though.
And also not being a bastard anymore, which is the bigger part.
So, part of what spurned this into action was that Stannis got a note that said, Bear Island knows no king but a king in the north whose name is Stark.
Yeah.
So, will the North ever accept a monarch whose name isn't Stark?
No, because that's kind of what the North is about, is the fact that they didn't have a ruler. Yeah, for the moment, but they rule out of fear.
Okay.
So they're only it's going to be as strong as they can be as powerful.
So which Stark would be most qualified?
Bran eventually.
Bran?
Eventually, but not right now. With Jon at the wall.
Okay.
It's the only one other one technically that could rule, I guess, because Sansa would just get married out of Starkhood, and so on with Arya.
So Movie Lover Fan 18 wants to know why Jon won. Like, did Sir Alliser Thorne train new recruits for years, but he also insulted them and made them fight each other? Like, so do you think that could have?
He trained recruits for years. They're shit recruits. They're shit people. Even everyone says that too. Like, it wasn't like he was like making amazing warriors. I mean, he wasn't. I mean, yeah, he kept the lackeys and like the disgruntled group together, and maybe he was great for a prison warden, but it's not a prison anymore. It's a war zone, and so we don't need a prison warden. We need
a leader,
a war lieutenant. Yeah, he's great. He should run every single prison. He's great for prison warden. Yeah, he should. That's where he should be sent, as a prison. But
teaching prisoners how to fight.
Yeah, really. But and insulting them. But for the wall, no, not good at all. Wow, that's crazy. To Tywin, he really still thinks all the way up into his death that the White Walkers were just myth and stupid.
Yeah. Jill Finlayson wants to know: Are you if you were surprised that Jon seemed reluctant when Sam first stood to speak for him?
No, I knew he didn't want to rule. Only because I knew he was scared of not winning. I feel like, and also I feel like, yeah, I think it was more just the fact that he didn't want to win because he was scared that he wouldn't want to put his name out there.
Okay.
Because I don't think he thought that the men would elect him.
So you're thinking that Jon is just choosing duty over like what he wants, as far as not taking the Stark name.
Yeah, he's showing that it's not about what his desire. It's about the wall.
Because he did say, you know, like, what kind of lord would I be if I break my own vows? Like,
exactly.
I have my vows to the Night's Watch. Okay.
Those are tricky things.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So how do you think he'll do as Lord Commander?
I think he'll do great. I think hopefully he'll get some good people too from Stannis.
Okay. So Stannis possibly leave a couple people behind to help him.
A couple people, and also maybe when he does take, he'll send more.
Okay. So Montana Donaldson wants us to point out that it was Aemon that cast the deciding vote.
Yeah, Mr. Aemon. Yeah.
Why did he choose Jon over Alliser?
Because I think he saw something in Jon, and he knew Alliser was dumb. He laughed about a bunch of the stuff that happened to Alistair anyways.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, no, Janice.
Oh, Janice, but he laughed before something happened too one time. Back when he was still...
Right.
And I think he just doesn't think too highly of him anyways. I think he thinks Jon will rally the people.
Let's head over to King's Landing. So Montana Donaldson wants to point out that Cersei's out killing every dwarf in the world.
That's fucked up.
She's
letting the...
Obviously... distracted. So if you were in the shoes of Marjorie, how would you use this time to...
I'd have her killed.
Well, how? Well, like poisoned? so Cersei is a little distracted with... Okay, so poison?
Poisoned, but until then I would marry Tommen.
Okay.
And I would kill her before I marry Tommen because she won't let Tommen marry Marjorie, and there's no way Tommen will just not listen to his mom right now. Tommen's still pretty young and they want you to feel like. So... He's not just going to not listen to his mom and then marry at this young age. I don't know if that's, like, technically possible.
Well, Tywin had his claws in him. Marjorie started kind of, like, pulling
away from Tywin, yeah.
So, Marjorie's pretty seductive.
No, Marjorie has got him pretty good, but I just say you have to take Cersei out of the picture somehow to be able to fully put your claws into Tommen.
All right. Now, Cersei has sent Jaime...
And arguably, if I was her, fuck killing Tommen. Just rule with him. Like, he'll listen. You'll be able to control him. Like, he has the name. Who else is going to fucking bother you about it?
So
like,
just kill her while she's distracted.
Yeah, kill her while she's distracted. Everything works out for Marjorie. Literally, Cersei is the one piece from Marjorie, I feel like, that is stopping her from just being in charge of the entire kingdom. Under a name that no one can dispute at the moment because everyone was cool with Robert, arguably, being king, and everyone still thinks Tommen's a Baratheon, right. And most people are not okay with him being not a Baratheon.
He's not Joffrey.
More people were pissed about Joffrey now, exactly. So I'm saying I think it's fine. And Marjorie knows how to keep the people happy, so yeah.
So, Cersei also sent Jaime to Dorne to get Marcella back.
Yeah.
So
with Bronn.
Well, she didn't.
Well,
Like,
she didn't.
Jaime
He
took
took
Bronn.
Bronn, yeah.
So, how do you see that going?
Bronn will save him multiple times, I'm sure.
Save Jaime multiple times?
Yeah, I'm sure. Because Bronn's a badass fighter. And they'll probably get Marcella back.
Okay. And Montana Donaldson wants to know...
which then probably start the war between the Martells and the...
King's Land.
And the Landing. Well, yeah, King's Landing, I guess.
So, Montana Donaldson wants to know who you agree with, the Prince of Dorne or Ilaria Sand. Like as far as revenge for Oberyn, like because like he's saying, you know, we don't mutilate little girls, you know, but
oh my god. Oh no, never mind. I was gonna say, what if Sansa is the one who's getting married to somebody in Dorne?
Okay.
And that's the marriage that he was talking about.
Okay.
Since he already has the title of her uncle and in charge of the... Oh, he's not in charge of the Vale, huh? At the moment, it had been Tommen... Or not Tommen, whatever that kid's name is. Alright, anyway, sorry. I was just thinking...
Robin.
Robin, yeah, never mind. Sorry.
Okay. But yeah, no, so like how do you see... Like, there's obviously tensions in Dorne because, like, you know, Ilaria Sand is, like, you know... the Lannisters killed your sister in the sack of King's Landing during Robert's Rebellion. They killed your brother. It's like, well, no. And he's like, no, he voluntarily chose to be in a trial by combat. The Lannisters didn't murder him.
Yeah, they didn't kill him. You were there. And she was, she should not be calling for their death for that one that much. I mean, yeah, I see she's mad, but like, they shouldn't do anything at the moment.
And it was actually his brother and his sister. You know, I mean, yes, she was with Oberyn, but
for a little while.
But why?
She's reacting like it's not his brother and sister that happened to. And
yeah, if there was one person to be pissed off at the Lannisters, it would be him. But it's just like you're asking me to go to war.
Yeah, no, I think he'll. But I'm also scared that he'll be assassinated.
Okay.
But I don't know who would take it from then, or how many brothers there are, or how big the family is.
Okay. So yeah, you've got a couple things going on in Dorne now. You've got the tensions there. You've got Jaime trying to do like a covert mission to get Marcella back. So gonna start seeing a little bit more Dorne.
Yeah, thankfully.
So Bronn no longer has a title as he is no longer engaged to the younger Stokeworth lady. Do you feel bad for his character, or are you happy that he's back in the action?
I'm happy he's back in the action. I felt almost sad. They made it look where it was supposed to be like kind of gut wrenching to watch him like walk along, skip rocks, look at a castle.
He's just like, I'm not paying attention to this woman. Yeah. So glad to see.
I'm glad to see Bronn back and kill him.
That's what he does.
That's who he is. That's who Tyrion is, playing the game.
Speaking of playing the game, Angela S. wants to point out that despite her denials, Cersei is essentially the hand of the king.
Main consultant for the king.
You know, much more, which is much more power than she had under Robert or as Queen Regent to Joffrey. So how do you see that going?
Not good at the moment though. Like, it's also, she's technically hand of the king, but she's also not hand of the king.
Right. Like, there was tensions in that room. Kevin Lannister is just like, dude, I want to hear it from the king's mouth.
Yeah, exactly. And so honestly, as much as, because the other two people, an old man and Mace Tyrell are the only two that are like willing to not oppose her. A big surprise. Like, she picked ducks that she could knock down easily. Nobody did she really have to like persuade, which is everyone she's gonna have to. And so a boy and a mom are not gonna be able to keep the capital. Like, I mean, or she's gonna have to do something different. But either way, she's not gonna. She does not have enough power on her own. She needed Tywin. She needed Tywin to keep everything in order.
Okay.
Plus, they're in debt, and her uncle isn't backing her, so she has no Lannister people. All she has is people who are sworn to the king, and that's dangerous. If all it takes is Tywin to get killed, and what does she have?
Yeah. So where do you see? Liz wants to know where you see Kevin Lannister's story going.
up for the Lannisters at least. He just took Castle Rock.
Okay.
So he'll be in charge of Castle Rock, and he'll be the new face of the Lannisters probably.
Okay.
Because it's not going to be Jaime and it's not going to be Cersei. And it's not going to be Tyrion at the moment. But I bet you eventually will be.
Liz also is saying that we finally get to see Dorne in the show. Some of the scenes were filmed in Seville, Spain. She actually got to visit the castle a year before they filmed season 5, and I can honestly tell you it's worth the visit if you ever get a chance to go. Cool.
Cool. That is cool.
Well, I mean, we're gonna.
That's cool that you got to go before too.
Well,
it actually felt.
Jessica and I our flight is to Madrid. I don't know how far. I'll have to check a map to see how far away that is from Seville. But yeah, could be one thing to add to our itinerary.
Check it out real quick.
Out. Yeah. Oh yeah. Movie Lover Fan 18 wants to know what Qyburn plans on doing with the dwarf's head.
Oh God, dissecting it probably and working on it, trying to reanimate it. I don't know. It's a fucked up shit probably. I hate that guy. I know he's gonna be such a piece of shit.
All right, cool. Is there anything else that kind of sticks out from the episode?
I think my best part of it was just Jon becoming Lord Commander. That's dope. That's huge. I was really calling for that for a while. I really wanted that, so that's it.
Well, and Arya getting to the House of Black,
and
actually getting into the House of Black and White.
Yeah. So I think the more I see with that, it'll be awesome. But I cannot wait for the rest of the season. It seems like everything's going how kind of I wanted it to, anyways. So
cool.
Yeah. At least with those two characters and Bran actually, and I guess as best as possible for Sansa right now.
Cool.
So I guess the Stark kids are doing good. That's where my loyalty lies, with the Stark kids.
Awesome.
Yeah. I know, great episode. Season 5 started off really good so far.
Awesome. Cool. So, yeah, like I said, we're going to try and actually get the history and lore sometime soon for 3 and 4. So, still, the jury's still out on when that's actually going to happen. But until next time, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe.
Catch you guys later.
Good night.